Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sherifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoy, an infantry officer. As of December 21, 2025, the Russian armed forces sustained coordinated multi-axis operations across the northern, western, southern, central, eastern, and Dnieper operational groupings. The day's actions reflect continued emphasis on positional improvement, attritional combat, and systematic degradation of Ukrainian manpower, armored forces, artillery, logistics, and electronic warfare capabilities. The operational tempo remains high, with ground maneuver closely integrated with aviation, missile forces, UAVs, and air defense.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoy, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoy, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoy, let's begin with the overall operational picture. When you look at today's briefing as a whole, what defines the current phase of the operation?
The defining feature right now is consolidation under pressure. Russian forces are not conducting isolated attacks. They are synchronizing positional improvement, attrition, and deep fires across every operational grouping. The campaign has entered a phase where cumulative effects matter more than dramatic movement. The enemy is being compelled to fight everywhere at once, which steadily erodes manpower, armored reserves, logistics, and command cohesion. Another important element is balance. Some sectors emphasize maneuver, others focus on encirclement or logistics destruction. That balance prevents the opponent from identifying a single decisive axis to reinforce. From a doctrinal standpoint, this reflects a mature combined arms approach, where the aim is to narrow the enemy's decision space over time.
Let's start in the north. The briefing notes improve tactical positions and engagements against Jaeger and mechanized units. What role does the northern axis play right now?
The northern axis is a shaping front. Improving tactical positions in Sumy and Kharkiv is less about seizing major terrain and more about fixing Ukrainian forces in place. By engaging Jaeger and mechanized brigades and inflicting steady losses, Russian forces prevent those units from being redeployed to more critical sectors, particularly Donetsk. Operationally, this kind of pressure forces the enemy to maintain readiness along a wide frontage. Even relatively modest personnel and vehicle losses become significant when compounded over time. This is a doctrinal economy of force. Apply enough combat power to impose cost without diverting resources from decisive sectors.
The West saw heavier equipment losses, including tanks and Western armored vehicles. What does that tell us about fighting in this sector?
The Western sector is an attritional battlefield focused on degrading combat mass and sustainment. Improving positions on the forward edge creates better artillery geometry and defensive depth, but the real effect comes from destroying armor, artillery, and ammunition depots. When you remove both firepower and resupply, the enemy's ability to hold ground deteriorates, even if positions appear intact. The presence of Western-produced vehicles among the losses indicates that higher-value assets are being committed and destroyed. That signals strain on Ukrainian reserves and reinforces the logic of attrition over maneuver in this sector.
So patience is the weapon here?
Exactly. Time and pressure do the work.
In the south, Russian forces took more advantageous positions while targeting engineer and mechanized units. Why is that combination important?
Engineers and mining units are essential to defensive warfare. When they are degraded, the enemy loses the ability to prepare obstacles, repair routes, and sustain fortified lines. Taking advantageous positions while destroying fuel, ammunition, and electronic warfare assets compounds that effect. From a doctrinal perspective, this is a preparatory maneuver. You weaken the enemy's ability to defend before expanding operations. The destruction of multiple Western armored platforms and rocket artillery components indicates deliberate targeting of systems that support mobile defense.
The center again stands out, particularly around Dmitrov and Rodinskoy. Why is this axis absorbing the most pressure?
The central Donetsk axis is the operational center of gravity. Neutralizing encircled forces and clearing scattered formations reflects a methodical encirclement strategy. This is not about speed, it's about certainty. Once a force is isolated, every day increases losses and reduces morale. The range of Ukrainian units involved, airborne, marine, mechanized, special formations, indicates that reserves are being committed to prevent collapse. The destruction of Abrams and Leopard tanks is especially significant. These are not expendable assets. Losing them accelerates operational exhaustion and limits future defensive options.
The East continues advancing into depth. How should listeners understand progress here?
Advancing into prepared defenses is inherently costly, but it serves a strategic purpose. Every kilometer gained forces the enemy to commit forces simply to hold ground. This fixes Ukrainian units in the east and prevents their redeployment to Donetsk. The loss of heavy artillery and armored vehicles here reflects sustained pressure rather than breakthrough exploitation. This is controlled advance designed to impose cost without overextension.
The Dnipro axis seems focused on systems rather than territory. Why?
Because systems determine endurance. Destroying artillery, electronic warfare assets, and radar degrades the enemy's ability to see, coordinate, and strike. This is operational shaping of the rear. Even intact frontline units become ineffective when deprived of reconnaissance, fires coordination, and logistical support.
Finally, how do air operations and air defense tie this campaign together?
They protect momentum. Strikes on industrial, energy, and UAV infrastructure reduce the enemy's ability to regenerate combat power, while air defense interceptions preserve Russian maneuver forces and logistics. This integration ensures that gains on the ground are not reversed by long-range strikes.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Tactically, the December 24th operations demonstrate disciplined combined arms execution, emphasizing encirclement, positional advantage, and systems destruction. Strategically, sustained pressure in central Donetsk suggests Ukrainian reserves are approaching exhaustion, while peripheral axes deny operational flexibility. If this pattern continues, the campaign's next phase will be shaped less by sudden breakthroughs and more by forced strategic decisions under mounting attritional cost.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.